For today's warm-up, we will be substituting in for the variables, and then we will need to follow the order of operations, and of course we will be using integer in all of the integer operations as we do this. So here's our expression, and of course what each of those variables is equal to. So the first thing we need to do is substitute in for each of those variables. So the first thing I see is a W, so I'm going to replace that with 12. Whoops, sorry about that. I've done that plenty of times in these videos. So the first thing I see is W. So I've got W is 12 divided by 4, minus V, which is negative 12. Plus Y, which is also negative 12. That's funny that I did that. Anyway, plus the quantity of x, which is negative 2, minus 4 times w, which is positive 12. So, as always, the first thing I want to do when I'm paying attention to my order of operations is parentheses. Not I have noticed that some of you notice these parentheses here and seem to think you need to do something with that. You do not. The reason those are in parentheses is to separate the operation from the sign. So that parentheses exists purely as a separation between those two symbols so that you don't get confused. Same thing here and here. So I'm going to ignore all of this for now and head right over here to my parentheses. Now, in my parentheses, I have got subtraction and multiplication. You should know that between those two, you do the multiplication first. So I know that 4 times 12 is 48. Bring down the rest of the problem that's inside the parentheses. And I've got 2 minus 48. Now, of course, I am subtracting, so I get to do the cha-cha-cha. So I stay, change, cha-cha-cha. This stays the same, this changes, and the 48 becomes negative 48. Cha-cha-cha. Don't forget to cha-cha-cha so that you can get it right. Now, of course, I have an addition problem. So I need to follow the rules for addition. The signs are the same, find the sum. So I know that I'm going to be finding the sum, which means I will be adding. The absolute value of negative 2 is 2. Absolute value of negative 48 is 48. I add those two together, I get 50. And they're both negative to begin with, so my answer is negative 50. So I can now bring down the entirety of this problem. So I'm going to have 12 divided by 4 minus negative 12 plus negative 12 plus negative 50. And I actually am going to put a parentheses in there, not because I have to do anything with it other than know that it's negative 50, but I wanted to separate the plus and the minus, or the plus and the negative sign. So I am now done with everything inside parentheses. The next thing is exponents. There are no exponents, so that's done. The next thing I want to do is all of my multiplication and division in order from left to right. If I look at this, I've got division. Now you're like, Mrs. De Silva, where is the division? The division is right here. And you're like, but that's a fraction. This is also a division problem. 12 divided by 4, I should know, very simply, is equal to 3. I'm actually going to go right on onto my next page to rewrite this in its entirety because I've obviously run out of room here. So on my next page, I have that 12 divided by 4, which I found out is 3 minus negative 12 plus negative 12 plus negative 50. Okay, I'm clearly done with all of the multiplication and division. I know that I need to do addition and subtraction in order from left to right now. So the first thing I get to is right here underline what I'm not going to do so that I don't get confused. I've got a subtraction problem. I get to do my cha-cha-cha. Stay, change, change, cha-cha-cha. Don't forget to cha-cha-cha. My signs are the same, find the sum, and of course that's 3 plus 12. I know everybody in the room, or everybody around you, knows that 3 plus 12 is 15, and I don't need to do anything else fancy with that. I am going to bring down the rest of my problem though. 15 plus negative 12 plus negative 50. Now again, I need to continue to go in order from left to right. So the next thing that means I get to is 15 plus negative 12. Underline what's left. 15 plus negative 12. That is an addition problem. There is no need to cha-cha-cha. Be careful you don't get confused there. And now, of course, the signs are different. Find the difference. So I need to find the absolute value of each of these. The absolute value of 15 stays 15. The absolute value of negative 12 is 12. I am finding the difference, so I'm going to do 15 minus 12. That gives me 3. And the sign of the larger absolute value was positive, so it is positive 3. Bring down the rest of my problem. I've got 3 plus negative 50. Again, I have an addition problem. There's no cha-cha-chaing, but I need to figure out if I'm finding the sum or the difference. Signs are the same. No, they're not. The signs are different. Find the difference. So here we are again, absolute values of both of these. Absolute value of 3 is 3. Absolute value of negative 50 is 50. However, I'm finding the difference. I should switch their places so that it looks like a regular subtraction problem. 50 minus 3 is 47. And then I look between the 3 and the 50. 50 has a larger absolute value, and its sign was originally negative. So my final answer is negative 47.